started on time and get it completed on time.
That is our hope as well.
Any questions?
I have just one. RJH, do they have a good reputation for accuracy in terms of their estimate of what the cost of the project would be? Do you have an opinion on that?
Councilwoman, Dr. Gonzalez did too much. To the best of my knowledge, they do. They have engineers from very big projects in northern Colorado, some big dams up there. They're very professional and very accurate. I would think that these numbers are very close.
Okay, thank you.
Jim,
Yes, sir.
if we were to not be successful with the grant, would the timeline still stay the same if we went to some of the other options?
I think the timeline would remain the same, Mr. Pondo, because then it'd just be a matter of pulling the funds from our own reserves. So I think we could move just as quickly as if we got the grant or not.
Jim, just a question. It might be, go back to the, what is the financial condition of the water fund at the present time?
Sorry, sir.
What is the financial condition of a water fund at the present time?
I'd probably defer to Rosie on that. I don't know how much we'll have left.
John, I should have some financial statements for you by the end of March for the 2011 year. The unrestricted reserve right now, I think, is right about 4.7 million.
If we're not successful, why can't we borrow money from ourselves and pay ourselves back that money?
Actually,
If we're not successful in getting the grant?
that would definitely be an option, no question.
Because I think we have to make a commitment. We're gonna do it now, start on it with or without the grant. I think that's the way it has to be. We can't go on another year with the situation the way it is.
No, I absolutely agree.
Mr. Beatty, do you perceive any bar in a worst-case scenario sketched by Mayor Reno in terms of basically borrowing against ourselves? It's kind of like you could borrow money against your 4013B and then you pay it back. Are you aware of anything that would prevent us from doing that?
I didn't mean to borrow it from somebody. I meant to take it out of the fund and just pay our money. We're using our own money. Just like taking it out of the bank and then
I
paying
heard
it.
you say borrow from our own funds.
No, I said borrow, but why can't we just take it out of the fund and then pay ourselves back the same amount that we would be paying back to that?
That would be my understanding of how we would proceed.
Okay. Yes, go ahead, Jared.
Mr. Mayor, Mr. Fernandez has been working extremely diligently on this grant and loan application for 8 months now, and he's confident that we are going to secure it next Tuesday. So fingers crossed on that. I don't think that we'll have to actually look at depleting our reserve fund. We are very hopeful this will come through for the city of Trinidad. One obstacle that I would like to highlight is that the Colorado Water Conservation Board is requiring the city to develop a water conservation plan that would be approved by the CWCB in advance of any disbursement of the loan funds. Mr. Fernandez is already in the process of initiating the development of such a plan. He's contacting RGH Engineering to provide assistance in that plan, but that's going to be a rush process here, and we'll have to try and make that occur here rather abruptly. That'll be one of the obstacles to the time frame set forth. So I wanted to make the council aware of that, but Mr. Fernandez is diligently working on that, and city staff will provide as much assistance as necessary for that.
Thank you, Jared. Mr. Benji is absolutely correct. NMOS has informed us that even if we're successful in getting the grant, that no funds would actually be dispersed until we provide this water conservation plan. Just as Jared mentioned, so we've already started to work on that.
Just one last question that I have. Is it gonna, the construction, will it interrupt storage at the lake? Are we gonna have to reduce the capacity of the lake, and how much, and are we gonna be able to sustain our water usage this summer? Or are we gonna have to put them on, go on restrictions of some nature because of the amount of the lower level of the lake?
That's an excellent question, Mayor. The initial plan was to do that. We had to lower the water level in the lake to allow the contractor to go in there and remove the spillway and do the work that has to be done. Excuse me. But if you recall, the state water engineer required that we lower that water level for safety reasons this last spring, and we've done that. So we've dropped that level down about 5 or 6 feet, and it's anticipated that that's all we'll have to do. So we shouldn't drop the water level any more than it is now. It should not interfere with our drinking supply or water supply, and any water restrictions we would put in place would be under normal conditions.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Any other questions by the council? Thanks, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir.
Item number 6, consideration of fire emergency water supply agreement between the city of Trinidad and the Stonewall Fire Protection District. Jim?
Mayor, members of council, these two documents reflect the desire of the Stonewall Fire Department, volunteer fire department, to have an agreement in place with the city to draw water from North Lake or Monument Lake in the event of a fire, a forest fire. Basically, it'd be like when these helicopters come in with these big buckets and scoop the water out of the lakes. So if we're agreeable to it, we sign these agreements, and it would give them permission to do that, if and when it ever became necessary.
Any concerns by the council?
No, I think it's paramount that we enter into these agreements.
Thank you.
Thank you. Wait, Jared?
Mr. Mayor, if I may add, these agreements with the Stonewall Fire Protection District are precursors to another agreement that we are in the process of developing. By state statute, we are required to have a wildland fire mitigation agreement in place with Los Animas County, and the deadline for that is actually July 1st of this year. Stonewall Fire Protection District would be a party to that agreement as well. And the requirement is that any wildland area or forest area as defined under state statute that is outside of the corporate limits of the city necessitates that we contract with our county in terms of mitigating any potential forest fires there. And we just want to think through that process in the event of a forest fire, and Stonewall Fire Protection District would be, of course, instrumental as they oversee the entire area there surrounding North Lake and Monument Lake. So that'll be forthcoming.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions? 7, discussion regarding the request for information proposal regarding the leasing of the Trinidad Clubhouse. Mike?
Mr. Mayor, members of council, I've kind of taken this on, and I will try and answer any questions that you may have. A little bit of history, Mr. Gilder Rubio had put out an RFI, request for information, for anybody who would like to lease and run the golf course facility, clubhouse facility, similar to what's being done at Monument Lake now. He advertised in the Chronicle News, the Times Independent, and the Pueblo Chieftain several times. We had 6